Welcome to episode 130 of Convincing Idiots. This week, we give you our non-spoiler review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania that we all saw together. Pop culture headlines, including maybe a little bit of death and destruction, but it's okay. We make it cheerful for you. Our Ask an Idiot question this week. If some music artists would not have passed away when they did, what would their career have been? What kind of impacts would it have made on the world? We discuss our suggestions and our main topic this evening, actors in superhero movies that we'd like to see. So what actors do we want to see in a superhero movie? And what are some role suggestions we'd like to see? And of course, we include the great John Hamm, obviously. Stay with us. Keep on listening. Keep on watching. And let's start the show.
All right. Test.
Test.
Test. What do you call it again? Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the Statman, not just anyone's opinion, the Statman Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the Millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
Brian Gen X.
And I am Millennial Nick. And I would like to invite you, if you have not done so already, well, thank you. I would like to invite you to come and, that's right, I said it. I would like to invite you to come to all of our social media accounts and please like, subscribe, rate, and review all of those fun things. Please come interact with us. It's our favorite thing in the whole wide world. So if you would like to participate in that, you can find links to all of our social media accounts on Convincing Idiots' Linktree. So just Google Convincing Idiots, LINKTREE. And there you will find all of our social media platforms, the different podcast platforms in which you can listen to us each and every week. There is a link to our merch store there as well. And also our website has all that information for you and so much more. That is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. That is correct. You can also find us if neither one of those work for you and you're not on social media and you don't want to go to our website, you just have a smart TV or a smartphone and you're like, I like to stick with my app store, stay off social media. Well, that's just fine too because we are on Boss Code Media. Boss Code Media is a content creator driven platform that includes ourselves as well as our friends over at It Came From Gen X. So please download
I like those guys.
Boss Code Media, Boss Code TV on your smart TV, on your app store today. Boss Code Media, we are there as well. We are joined once again. I don't think I mentioned it. I usually do the whole thing. I'm kind of trying to break it up, but I forgot to tell you who we are and what we're all about. Well, we're Convincing Idiots. We're a weekly podcast of three friends from three different generations, and we talk about, that's correct, we talk about pop culture and nerd stuff and things like that we are interested in and that we think maybe you'll be interested in as well. So. As we settle in for this week's edition of Convincing Idiots, Dinas, what have you been up to, my friend?
I have been, doing some ice. I've been
Doing
swinging
some
some
ice.
axe.
Wow. Your life
I've
really
been-
took a turn since last
I've been
we
hitting
spoke.
I've been tapping those axes.
Okay.
No, well, let's see.
Is
We will
tapping
get into it.
axes a term for something? Is that like code for something? Tapping axes?
You're about to find out.
All right. Okay.
All right. No, let's see. We went to the movies, all of us, which I'm sure we will touch on, and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania.
The Wops.
Whole Wops.
The wet ass pussies.
Best movie ever. Let's see. I went to the Ice Festival in Medina.
Oh, that was this weekend.
It was. It was very
Yeah.
cool. A lot of people carving ice. A lot of ice sculptures.
Was it cool? How cool was
It
it?
was very cool. We stopped at a few establishments, and I tried some alcohol. I'm not really much for doing that, but I thought when in Rome, so
Sure.
and it was lovely. I enjoyed myself. Had a lot of fun beers and a lot of fun spirits. Actually, went to what is the name of the place? Was Wrecking Crew Brewery in Medina. I'd never been there.
So I was at recently as well, Dean. Yeah,
That was very good. I like that beer. Got to chat up the owner. Real nice guy. That was fun. And then what is it? Not the next day. It was Monday, yesterday. My work kind of did a late party, Christmas party deal, and we went axe throwing.
Oh, okay.
I've never done that before. So there's a whole bunch of us. There's about I don't know, like close to 40 of us, all throwing axes, and we got kind of split up on teams. And my team did not win. We did very well. Like I actually did a lot better than I thought I would have. Hit the bullseye
How
quite a
far
few
away
times.
are you from the
Not that far.
target?
I don't know, say 25 feet, 30 feet, maybe.
Okay.
Again, I'm thinking that like this is like 9 inches. So what do I know? How
Sure.
much about measuring things. But Megan's team did beat our team, so kudos to her.
Nice.
And her team. But yeah, it was a lot of fun throwing axes, and yeah, that's about it.
What's the name of the place you went to? Do you want to give them a shout out, or
I would if I remember.
All right.
Axes are us. That's
Triple axe.
I can find that out, but yeah, I don't remember.
Axes are us. Be sure to look up Axes Are Us somewhere in Ohio.
Yeah.
Where was it at? Where was it at again?
It was in Brunswick.
Okay.
Right across from
Inside of the bowling alley, or
no, not Brunswick Charger Lanes. It was the city of Brunswick.
Oh, okay.
Ignite Brewery is going to open their second tap room right across the hall. It's in the same complex right across the hall, and it's like a sports complex because like in the basement is like all of these like it's a huge basketball court thing. They have tournaments and stuff and training sessions and all that kind of deal.
Nice.
So if everything I said makes sounds familiar, it's that place.
Okay. I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Lumberjacks Alley.
Could be.
Okay.
Wouldn't even know if I heard it.
There you go. That's what came up in Brunswick. So yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. Yeah. So yeah. Yep. All right. Cool.
So Brian, what about you? What have you been up to?
Nice weekend. Obviously, we spent time together, all of us, on Friday, so that was a lot of fun, and we'll talk about that. And also with the illustrious Jonathan joined us as well with his son.
Right.
So that
Illustrious
was,
Jonathan.
yes, very nice to hang out with Jonathan. We talked about seeing a movie for some time, all of us, so that was nice. It all worked out. And the kids were pretty well behaved, and everybody. It was a nice time. So that was good. Yeah, absolutely. And then the Saturday, it was a rare. So it was my as I mentioned on prior episodes there, and you guys know I was adopted as a baby. And I, over the years, in my later 40s, 50, early 50s, I got reacquainted with my biological mother, who was still in the area, and sort of lost connection there for a minute. She was going through some stuff, and then we've reconnected and stuff. So her birthday was the 15th of February. So went out to a nice lunch. It was literally all my ladies in my life, my lovely ladies of my life, at the same table at the same time. Had a very nice lunch. So I had my mom, my biological mother, my daughter Peyton, Allie, and her daughter Marlo. So everybody there together. It was actually, I had more than a few moments of pausing and reflecting of how beautiful that was, that I had all that, all that support and love from so many lovely ladies in my life. So I was very grateful and generous and all that type of stuff.
Cool.
Very, very nice time. Yeah, absolutely.
And you were still the most feminine one at the table.
Yeah, that's about right. Mm-hmm. That's about right. Got a couple pictures and stuff. So those are some pictures to cherish and hang on to, because getting everybody together at the same time, just in general, is tough. But anyway, so
and what some good pictures you got there. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, very nice. And then that evening, Allie and I went out to Sarah's Vineyard out of Cuyahoga Falls area. We talked about going there for years now, just never got her up there. So had a nice time. I tell you what, man, that place, if you're in the Northeast Ohio area, you like wine, it's such a good place. I kind of forgot how nice it is in there, and very reasonable. And we had flatbread, like a thin crust pizza, a chicken Alfredo pizza. Man, it was so good. And so definitely go check them out. We had a very nice time. And then stopped at the North Side Speakeasy on the way home. That was fun. So, and then Sunday, Allie and I spent a nice time together. Sunday, checked out, did some hiking, and then we went to, we stopped at another brewery, Hoppy Guys Brewing in, I can't remember where it was now. I have to look it up here while we're talking here, but that was cool. And then saw another buddy, Jim, in the evening for dinner. And I had a nice burger and beer. So just a nice quality time weekend with friends and family. I like that. That's a weekend you step back and say, this is what you work hard for, and this is what life is supposed to be about, is spending time with people you care about. So very, very good. So that's what I have going on. Thank you. What about you, Nick? How are you?
Very good.
Yeah,
Nick, it's your turn. What?
I am well. What? I'm well.
You want to tell us what you did? What?
Didn't do too much, as you guys mentioned. We went to the movie on Friday. Did some errand running Saturday, and went out to Brighton Brewing on Saturday night. Or Saturday afternoon. So always enjoy going out there. Good beer out there. And Sunday we went out for dinner. We had Robin's birthday last week, so we kind of were getting around to a little bit of a late dinner for her. So we went out and got some steak and stuff like that. So that's about it. Nothing too crazy. Just chilling.
Very good. I'll correct myself here just to give the proper, shout out. Hoppy Dude Brews in Hinckley, Ohio. That's where we were.
Okay.
Very cool place. And actually they had a pickle beer.
Really?
How was that?
It was good. If you like pickles, sure. It was almost like drinking I even drink pickle juice on occasion. There was a pickle sour, and it was just a subtle. It was just like drinking pickle juice. That's what it was. Very good. If you like that type of thing, definitely worth checking out. Go check them out. Hoppy Dude Brews in Hinckley, Ohio. There you go.
Nice. I had a pickle juice, not pickle juice, but a pickle flavored moonshine when we were on vacation last summer, and not for me. I love pickles, but I just couldn't.
I'm the same way.
Pickle juice.
I love pickles. It's nothing against that, but I don't need a lot of different things flavored like pickles that aren't pickles. So I find it a little weird, but it's not all bad.
It's already enough that my liver is that pickled.
But it's It's weird. Some certain things are kind of an odd mix.
Yes.
Yeah,
this podcast is a great example.
That's right. We're like the pickle juice of podcasts in some respects.
I can see that. I've been told
Yeah.
that often, actually.
Yeah. So some people find us like very good and like, it would quench their thirst of pop culture and talk and so forth. Others just, don't need it. Don't need it. Don't like it.
This is flavored like the types of things I like, but I just don't like this combination of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then finally, pregnant women love to smear us with peanut butter and put us in their mouth.
Right. Yep. All right, so that's a good segue into idiot.
Is it? Wow. Yeah. To what now?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that a good segue into? I can't wait.
Well, no spoilers here, but obviously we all saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, but Quantumania's probably start there, guys, or do you want to work up to that second?
We can start there.
Okay, so Dean, what did you think of the movie? Again, no spoiler reviews for us here, guys. We'll talk about it more later, but yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was fun. It was very comic bookish. It did exactly what I was hoping for. I didn't have any. I didn't walk away with wanting more. Like, it gave me exactly what I was assuming what was going to be there. I don't want to give spoilers, so I'm trying to watch my tongue here. It was a lot of fun. That's all I can say. I enjoyed it immensely. I'm looking forward to things beyond it, we'll say. Yep. If you're going to go, and according to the numbers that I've read, most of you have gone already to see it.
It was a big weekend.
It was a huge weekend. But stay for both post-credit scenes.
Must see both of them. Yep. Okay. Nick, what'd you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I would have to agree with a lot of things that Dean said. It was a lot of fun.
Normally,
the Ant-Man movies typically are, so it's a fun movie. It was probably my favorite of the Ant-Man movies, I would say, and that's really saying something because this is the one that does not have Luis in it, and Luis is my favorite part of the Ant-Man franchise. But no, it was good. The characters were fun. Couple sidebar notes that aren't going to give anything away. Number one, Michelle Pfeiffer, hats off to her. She looks incredible.
She sure
still
does.
It's very impressive. And then also just, Kang is fucking awesome. Like, it's instantly, already one of my favorite villains. He's just awesome. I can't help but be rooting for him the whole time. So
can we be superficial real quick and just say, like, I don't know who is prettier, Michelle Pfeiffer or Kang, or Jonathan Majors. Both fucking beautiful human beings. Jesus.
Yeah. But definitely a cool movie. Yeah. I don't want to say. You can't. I don't want to say anything too much to people. Yeah, you can't spoil anything. But yeah, it moved along nicely. I liked some of the characters that were in it. I liked the way they. Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun movie. I can't really say much because you want to give people time to see it. But it was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It definitely had some of the lighter tones of the other Ant-Man movies, but we all talked about this too. It definitely had some. It was certainly the darkest of the three, as you would expect with Kang. So you got to see some different sides of Ant-Man that you really maybe have seen as much. So he's got something to. I'm not sure he's got something, but he's fighting to protect his family and all that. So he definitely steps it up, and he's more fierce and. That type of thing. And then Dean mentioned afterwards, talking with Jonathan, it was actually a good point too. It's one of the few that Marvel villains, the big bads, that there's no CGI. It's Jonathan Majors. There was some. There was some there with the helmet. I like how they worked in the blue helmet, the blue face for a little bit. Yep. But it's him. It's him out there acting with the facial expressions and everything else here, and like you say, is definitely very, very solid in that role. So they definitely picked a great actor in that role.
Yeah, great actor. He does so well. One thing I was really appreciating about watching that movie is he does so much, like just with his delivery of things. Like he's very measured and but he's got a really powerful a delivery to his lines and exactly. He just does. He has presence on screen, and he commands attention. He's fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
It makes me really excited to see Creed 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the other ones just so I can see this one. Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
You've never seen them?
I've never seen any Rocky, any Buck type of universe, anything. Yeah, so
you'll like those. They're very modern take on boxing movies. Again, they're no Rockies, but you don't really do with right. You don't really do well with older movies. So I'd say you would enjoy the Creed movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know that there's a Rocky Balboa and that he was a champion, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's all you need to know to go into the Creed movies.
Right. Okay.
So
I know who Apollo Creed is.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
his
all you
dad.
need.
You're all set. His dad. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Hey, you gotta watch some Rocky movies, man.
No, thank you.
But anyways,
I'm stopping. I've given up on trying to get him to watch older movies.
Yeah. But back to Ant-Man, it's like I say, you guys say, it's fun. They set up the next phase very nice. Definitely a good movie to start the new phase of this phase 5, or is this 4? 4? 5. 5. Yeah, solid. You got to mention Michelle Pfeiffer, fantastic, looked great, was great. Definitely almost the star of the movie, really.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Douglas continues to be great in the role of Hank Pym. Just everybody was great. His daughter, and I wasn't really expecting the whole universe of characters in the quantum world.
Yes.
We won't go and
that was
give
fun.
away details and all that, but that is a whole, mixed, all kinds of interesting creatures and characters living in that particular universe that were a lot of fun. So, some they could maybe make a repeat in other movies here that have more of a prominent role, but it was a lot of fun. So, and just remember some advice that you did learn in the movie: drink the ooze.
Drink the ooze.
Drink the ooze. If you watch the movie, you'll know what we're talking about there. So, yeah.
Who was your favorite character?
As far as the other creatures and people in the world?
Yeah.
The ooze guy made me laugh. That was fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say the blobby guy, the ooze guy, whatever.
I think he was one of the guys that plays in his crew, in Paul Rudd's crew in the other movies. I think he does one of the voices for him, if I'm not mistaken.
It was the guy.
Can't remember who it is.
But the same guy you're talking about. It was the guy that played the Spot in the Suicide Squad, the newest one. There, it was that guy. That was the voice. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I
polka dot man or polka dot
man.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Okay.
There was that
I am mixed up then.
I just happened to catch that. So, of course, we looked everything up. We could see everything online, but that's
sure.
what it was. But yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, because this is like 30 some movies so far, right? And up until all this, my favorite character has always been, I can't help it, it's always been Aaron Blake. Because Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free, that's right, I said free, 5-minute quote today. And make sure when you do, you tell him that the idiots and the quantum universe sent you.
Very good. Does Aaron insure ooze insurance?
I'll get back with you. I'll have to have a conversation with him. Yeah.
Check with Aaron on that. If you drink the ooze and need insurance, perhaps.
How many holes does he cover? Yeah, I'll ask him all that stuff. I'll ask him all that stuff later.
Yep. I think 7. if I'm
I
not mistaken.
believe so.
S-
I think he
something
only
like
covers
that.
6,
Yeah.
though.
That's correct. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
You got to pick which hole is least valuable to you.
Sorry. We know Nick doesn't cover all 7. Thank you. So
I leave a lot of them open.
Yep.
I've seen him
6
try to
optional to
plug
cover.
many.
Yep.
Just cover 1 or 2. It's fine.
Yep.
Well,
All right.
the ones he does,
go
he's really good at.
All right, guys. So we're gonna cover a couple of holes ourselves, and then take a little break,
Oh.
and then we're going to come back with pop culture headlines and get into our Ask an Idiot question of the week.
Then
Go
real
ahead.
quick, I'll just mention real quick that I did go out of order, and the next day I did watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I'd
know
never
what?
seen before.
Oh, you hadn't seen that one before?
No,
I skipped. You're right. I skipped. By the way, I'm sorry. Did you watch anything else besides Ant-Man? So you mentioned you just saw the other Ant-Man. I skipped what else we may have seen. So go ahead.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mhm.
That's really given it's been a few days since we've done the show. Other than Quantum Mania, I watched a WWE pay-per-view. Other than that, and that was fun and exciting, and got me all sweaty and stuff, and all 7 holes were buzzing, and it was a good time. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Nick, did you see anything else before we? Go ahead, please.
I'm just watching nothing new. I've been watching the same shows. I'm still watching Breakpoint. That's the tennis documentary docuseries I was telling you about from the creators of Drive to Survive. And I was also telling you I thought they were making a PGA one. That dropped this weekend. It's called Full Swing is what it's called.
Okay.
That looks entertaining too. Like, I'm not a golf fan. Like, I don't follow it whatsoever, but it looks very entertaining. So I'm probably going to check that one out.
What channel is that?
It's on Netflix, the Netflix channel.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, but that's really good. Still chipping my way through Andor, half hour at a time. So, but yep. So it's just watching the same show.
Still enjoying it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. I'll give it a full review after I'm done. But I'm on episode 10 right now. So I've got 2 more to go after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So what about you,
All right,
Brian? Watch anything?
The only thing I've been keeping up with really beyond that is still The Last of Us. So
Yeah, just watching that too.
yeah. So still very, very good. So just
I gotta
episode
catch up on
6
that one.
dropped over the weekend. So yeah, still very, very good. That's it. I really haven't been catching up with anything else new lately with the schedule and everything else. So, but yeah, definitely recommended. All right. Sorry about that. So now we're going to take a break and then come back with pop culture headlines and our Ask an Idiot question of the week. Something like, what if Picasso didn't pass away or something like that? And what if he would have continued his artwork and something like that? So Dean will explain it further.
I'll explain when we get back.
We're a little fuzzy on the details. Dean's going to talk it out for us.
Right. Michelangelo, like what if he would have lived another couple years? Something like that. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I was talking more Jim Davis, and we could have got more Garfield, but
There you go. Sure. Yep.
See, he said Michelangelo, so I was thinking about like Ninja Turtles and which one of them would have carried on in a solo career and all. So we have things to work out, details to iron out.
Come back, see if we've gone completely off the rails by the time we get back.
That's right. We're right back after the break.
Five, 4, 3.
Welcome back to Convincing Idiots. We hope you've either covered or uncovered whatever holes you wished over the break. You know,
Uncovered. Yep.
yeah, whatever,
Definitely uncovered.
whatever you prefer.
Then
So
plugged
we're-
up a few if you want.
Sure, absolutely. Yep. With the Nick device we talked about last week, Dean, perhaps.
Oh yeah. He loved
Yep.
plugging up those ones.
Yep. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and listen. If you do know what we're talking about, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That is not directed at Nick because I know he didn't listen.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't. It was like 4 days ago. I haven't had time to listen.
Uh-huh. That's right. That's
Totally
right.
would have listened if I had the time.
Yep.
100%.
Nick works us in between viewings of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. As we go
That's
back
right.
to current
Right.
episodes.
We're
Yeah.
on that list.
Yep. Okay, guys. So I know you guys are a fan of cop shows. Yeah, I know Dina, you are at the very least.
I am.
Yeah, Nick, what about you? Cop shows? Not so
No.
much.
Can't bring
Okay.
myself to root for him now.
Okay. Well, there were a couple actors that passed away recently that were definitely prevalent in cop shows. I don't know if you even heard these just yet here. So, this past Sunday, 78 years of age, Richard Belzer passed away. I don't know if you
I did see
heard that. Yeah. So he was an icon on. Let's see here. He was Detective John Munch for several years. He played that role on Homicide or Law and Order SVU for
I know who
over
that is.
4 decades.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
What? Is that right?
Everybody's
because
seen
the-
SVU.
because he didn't start on SVU. I think the character started on the regular Law and Order series,
Okay.
Wow.
which
Okay.
premiered in 1926, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So he was on it for, let's see here. He joined it, 1999. Is that right? He started the show as an entire run. I'm sorry, 93 to 99, excuse me. He started, it was Homicide, Life on the Street in 93. He played John Munch. Okay. He started on the show for its entire run, 7 seasons, 122 episodes until 99. So he's come back and reprised the role over the years. Yeah, but prior to that, he was a stand-up comic. So you really, a lot of people probably only know him as being on the cop show.
He was a funny
and him in
stand-up.
that role. He really was. Yeah, absolutely. So you had kind of
He actually had his own talk show too. In the early to mid 80s, he had his own talk show.
Okay.
And famously, that is where Hulk Hogan and Mr. T were promoting WrestleMania 1.
Wow.
And that is where Hulk Hogan got him in a chokehold and actually made him pass out and then
That's
dropped him.
right.
And it busted open the back of Belzer's head because he was like out. He knocked him out with a sleeper hold, the actual sleeper hold. And he ended up suing Hulk Hogan and getting a lot of money from that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
All right.
watch that clip if you get a chance. It's quite
Okay.
entertaining.
Okay. He made cameos in or appearances, not cameos, appearances on Arrested Development, The Wire, 30 Rock, The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and more shows as one of TV's most recognizable cops. So there you go. So obviously, Dean, you're familiar. So Nick, were you familiar at all with Richard Belzer?
From SVU. Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how old was he?
He was
Gotta be
only
the 70s, right?
78.
Okay.
Only
Yeah,
78.
well,
Jesus,
only
we should all be
78.
so lucky.
Well,
Well-
Brian was reading it though. I mean, only 78.
yeah,
Maybe,
yeah, that's a good point.
78 these days is younger. You know, I don't know. Okay, we had another well-known cop show actress pass away. She was 83 years of age. She played Faye Ferrillo on Hill Street Blues. Barbara Bosson, Bosson, passed away recently. So she was on that show from 81 to 86. She was a main cast member. portraying Faye Ferrillo, the ex-wife to police captain Frank Ferrillo, who was played by Daniel J. Travante. She received 5 Emmy nominations for Best Supporting Actress in a Drama Series, and she was nominated in the same category in '95 for Murder One, which shows the life of a prominent attorney, Theodore Hoffman, at a Los Angeles firm. She was also in various other things, including Cop Rock, Last Starfighter, Mannix, Crazy Like a Fox, The L.A. Law, Civil War, Star Wars, Deep Space Nine.
If we ever get a chance, we all should do some sort of watch along for Cop Rock. Do you guys have any idea what Cop Rock was?
I remember it was like a musical cop show or something weird on network television.
It was so weird and absurd.
Yeah.
It was on, I believe, Fox, but it was a musical cop show, and it was just very odd, strange, but kind of fun. I mean, enough to fun. Nick, let me some little jazz cabbage and a watch along would be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Okay, so Dean, any thoughts on Barbara Bosson?
I remember her. I always liked Hill Street Blues. Rest in peace. I don't really know much about her or her catalog. I mean, everything you've read, I'm familiar with. So, good bio, good career. So, Godspeed.
All right, so we're going to...
Y'all be safe out there.
That's right. Yeah, tagline from the show. Very good. Well, Dean, we know that Nick is very good at the older actresses remembrances. What's that? Go ahead.
No, never mind. I was going to say something else he was good at.
Yeah.
You continue.
So, Nick, what is your millennial review?
About the things I'm good at.
Your millennial review of Barbara Bosson, please.
Yeah. Well, I'll actually have you know that she's actually delivered many performances in which I have seen that over the years that have. This one kind of cuts me deep. This is, her portrayal that I enjoyed the most was the last one that you'd mentioned, and she just really brought a lot to the screen and definitely enriched my life with her performances. I joke here. I don't mean disrespect for that, but I've never heard of this woman or anything she's been in. I was born in 1988, and everything you mentioned, I heard years, and they were all before I was ever born. So, I'm sad that she has passed. I am. I just don't.
What?
I at least find comfort in knowing that this that cushions the blow to know that
he knows a lot about blowing.
Remain the same because I didn't see the stuff she was in. No, I'm rest in peace.
I'm trying to save you here, bud.
hey, she. You know what? Here we go. Here's the thing. She had an illustrious career, and enough of an illustrious career to be mentioned on this podcast. Therefore, my friends, she made it. She made something of herself, and so for that, I send her off with a thank you and a rest in peace.
Very good. That's great. Yeah, Nick, when Dean passes, I don't know, we'll even mention it at all. Frankly.
That probably won't make the show.
Yeah.
Where's Dean for time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. He's probably off being a child molester again or something.
I think he was on the show, from a couple of years there. Yeah. Before
I don't even have the timeline. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Was that the one that came on the show a couple times? That was my cousin. No.
I've stood in the urinals next to you two. You two are not big of any sorts.
Was he the one that made a couple appearances? No, that was my cousin. But that wasn't him. That wasn't him either. No. Okay.
Was he the African American drummer? Nope, that wasn't him.
Yeah. Check the archives. Okay, we have one more prominent pop culture figure pass away. She was 82 years of age. Actress Raquel Welch passed away. So she shot to stardom in her role in the 1966 film 1 Million Years BC, where she wore like a fur bikini. If you You may only know her.
A
Some
very
people
famous
only know
poster.
her. Very famous poster, and it was the poster that was very prominent in the Shawshank Redemption because the guy had it hanging in his cell. Over the years, it evolved, but that was the poster he
To
had
cover
up that
one
was
of the 7
covering.
holes.
Yeah, covering. Yes, it was covering one of the 7 holes. That's right. She covered the tunnel that he carved for many years. So she was in a lot of shows. I mean, a lot of movies and shows. She also made one of the better Seinfeld episodes you might recall, to where she was played herself on the episode, and she was very, mean and demanding. And Kramer, I think, was her understudy or something like that. And it's a pretty funny episode there with Raquel Welch. So, in her time, she was certainly a very beautiful woman. She was called by Playboy magazine the most desired woman of the 1970s. So again, you go back and look at pictures of her and all that, and she was, again, very beautiful. She auditioned for the role of Mary Ann in Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, you sent us that picture. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Looked definitely looked very good in the outfit and everything. So she had a career of more than 50 years. She had more than 30 film and 50 television credits. Most recent appearances were on the TV series Date My Dad in 2017. And also in 2017, How to Be a Latin Lover was her last movie, according to her IMDb profile. Had a couple
Which
kids.
Is also going to be the name of Nick's autobiography.
What's that?
How to Be a Latin Lover.
How to Be a Latin Lover. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I like it. So, anyway, so a little bit before our time, certainly as a kid, I knew Raquel Welch growing up. She was definitely a sex symbol and everything else. So I remember her, mainly from my younger years. But Dean, any thoughts on Raquel Welch?
I mean, exactly what you said. Raquel Welch is one of the most beautiful people to walk the earth.
I agree.
But also the idea that she was a pretty damn good actress too, So, she's like Nick, brains and brawn, and beauty, that's so, I when I think of Raquel Welch, I think
of Nick.
Often I think of Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Except, sometimes Nick is hard and she's now stiff as a board. So
I'm sure that was just the send off she always dreamed she would have someday.
Yep. If you wish to have a convincing idiots
eulogy, I'm right here.
Yeah, just check us out.
You looking for someone to MC your funeral? Media. We got you covered.
Yeah, there you go. Nick, do you even know who Raquel Welch is, sir?
I've seen pictures. She was a looker. You sent them. They were very nice. No. But from the pictures, yes, I do. She was beautiful, beautiful woman. And from by all accounts of what you gentlemen have said, a good actress as well. So, yes. I feel like if we do this podcast long enough, eventually I'll start to notice I'll know the people that die. The people that make the obituaries, I will start to notice if we do this for enough years.
There you go.
I'm trying to Google it. Didn't Raquel Welch do the sex with Elvis? Or am I thinking of somebody different?
Oh, you know what? There is a picture of Raquel Welch going, I think, to the Oscars with Joe Namath. There's like a famous picture, her and Joe Namath on the red carpet. Like, man, that's a 1970s picture right there. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Maybe that's what you're thinking of. I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah. I'd seen those fingers. Look up that picture of Raquel Welch and Joe Namath. It's like, wow. It's like two people, a very handsome couple at that particular event for sure. So, looking it up right now, and that's those are two very attractive people.
Yeah.
And I have to assume that they did the sex on each other.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. That'd be a topic for some time here. If he could be a particular guy in a particular decade and live his life for a day, Joe Namath he'd be one you would consider.
Yeah, he's on the list.
Yeah, you'd be considered as
Ric
living his
Flair,
life
yesterday.
Yeah. All right, we have a winner. We don't even need to do the topic. I think Nick found it.
It's pretty good. All right.
I think Elvis's left hand in any part of the 60s.
Yeah. Sure. That would be exciting. Yeah, absolutely.
Because he not only got all the girls, but he got himself. So I get it all around there. So why not?
That's right. That's right.
I'm in Elvis.
All right, so we're past our
breaking point.
Our breaking point and death remembrances. We talked about this prior, but this is making some pop culture news right now that the charge against Alec Baldwin for accidentally shooting that poor lady on the movie set has been dropped. So the DA drops the gun enhancement charge. So that means now that he faces a maximum of 18 months behind bars if convicted in the fatal shooting. So the prior charge, he was facing up to 5 years in prison. So this definitely helps his legal case. So certainly his lawyer is saying that there's no way he would have even thought or known that there was a live ammunition in the gun.
Right. So
it's looking more like Alec Baldwin will beat these charges and move forward. So just a very terrible thing. But it looks like he's certainly not going to do any jail time. So that's just making the news right now, sir. Any other thoughts on that?
I was just going to say, can you imagine having that a total accident, that you're involved in, that you already feel immense guilt for having a hand in, and now you have to deal with that, emotionally. Sure. And then on top of that, you have people go, you murdered them. You did it on purpose. I always think that too about people that, and I get where it comes from, right? Like whenever there's some big thing, like let's say, the John Benet Ramsey, right? Let's say nobody really knows what happened. Her parents were immediately accused of having something to do with it. Can you imagine losing your child and being a suspect, or the grandparents of the Casey Anthony's daughter, just stuff like that. Not to go off too much of a tangent, but let's say you really, you're involved in this tragedy, or something, you're dealing with this tragedy of a loved one, and not only that, you have to try to process that, but now people are coming after you like you're a criminal or you had something to do with it, you're a murderer, you know what I mean? It's just, that's got to be awful. I mean, those are not all the same thing as the Alec Baldwin situation, but I say that to say, can you imagine working through that mentally and then having to deal with also people saying things like this? I mean, it's just, it's tough. I mean, I think common, perception of the situation is that, yes, this was an accident. Alec Baldwin certainly did not intend to murder this person. This was, it was just an accident and a fault of many people along the way that missed something, or that this could have been prevented in many scenarios, but unfortunately was not. But I don't know, it's just got to be tough.
It's kind of the same idea as in Nick. Imagine somebody coming up to you and getting in your shit about some awful thing that I said. You know what I mean? Not only do you have to deal with it being on this fucking show, now you're being accused of awful shit from it.
Right. Yes, right. And I don't associate with that. That's
right.
That ain't me.
Well, outside of this, you don't associate with us. So
right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I keep my distance. That's right. How can you blame me?
As you should.
Right.
You can't.
I contend with that all the time. So,
what? Which part?
Being associated with Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yep. It's at the Lions store, Lions adult store, very frequently.
The Lions Den.
Just all kinds of.
You want to go to a back booth, Brian?
I only if it's a buddy booth. You know what I mean?
All right, fair enough. Hold on. Actually, All of these blend together. Was that a conversation we had off air, or was that on the podcast last week?
I don't remember if it was on air or off air. Now that you say that, so I know it was a joke that we were making throughout the episode. Yeah,
it was. It's based on a true story. It wasn't on air.
No,
okay.
No. Anyway, so back to Alec Baldwin. Yeah, terrible thing. I agree with you, Nick. So hopefully he beats these charges. And just a horrible thing. So we talked about it on a prior episode that it very well could just be the fact of just the family just wants to make sure that they're getting some type of settlement from the studio or something like that, and they sort of deserve that. I mean, you can't replace a loved one, obviously. So he's sort of stuck in the middle of that. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
that is basically the same.
Yeah. Okay, this we just have to recognize this again. It's not good news, but just need to recognize it. This actor is very prominent in the world of pop culture and many movies here. So Bruce Willis, we know that he's been battling some health issues of late, and he was recently diagnosed with frontal temporal dementia. Poor man. So he is 67 years of age. So it's also known as FTD. So it impacts the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain. So they sort of get worse over time.
Fucking tough dementia.
Yeah, so basically. So anyway.
Is that what FTD stands for?
No, it's frontal temporal dementia.
Oh.
So it is known for impacting younger people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, I guess. So I don't know. I just wanted to mention it because it's making the news right now, and certainly, he's been in many movies and shows that we've enjoyed over the years. So I'm sure I speak for all of us when we say we wish him is the best in fighting this disease. So
absolutely,
man.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
But could you imagine, like, you wake up one day, like on a Monday morning, and just your weekend was shit, your day shit, you feel run down, everything sucks, and you're like, you know what? I hope the second part of the Convincing Idiots podcast is uplifting and delightful.
Yes.
And then you just listen to fucking 28 minutes of death and destruction.
I know that was a downer,
so it's
but
not looking good for Bruce Willis, guys.
Right.
Yep. All right.
Brian, you got some bad thing to tell me about my grandma, maybe? I don't know.
Like Debbie Downer over here on SNL. Well, it's official. I can never have children.
Yep. Okay. All right. So, a lot of celebrities.
AIDS.
So a lot of celebrities get makeovers, all right, and it certainly makes a lot of news. And this story also is making some news here, where this particular celebrity television is going to look completely different. Barney,
the dinosaur,
Barney the dinosaur,
wife
is getting a complete looking makeover.
Is Barney still a thing?
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
Okay.
It looks like it's going to be, I think, an animated thing. Doesn't appear like it's going to be a live version, I don't think. So they're going to reboot the show.
Okay.
Is an animated? There it is, an animated series in 2024, introducing Barney to a new generation of children. The Mattel toy company, I guess, has the rights to this thing. So
I was going to say that's how all the kids' shows start. There's a toy company involved. They need to make some money.
So you can look this up, and Barney looks slimmer. He has a smaller nose, whiter teeth. But again, it was a live.
You say whiter teeth?
Whiter.
Oh, whiter. I'm like, how much whiter can they get? They were white.
No shit.
Can be the first time.
Yeah. So
they were whiter than Dean already.
It's making a lot of news right now that some people are upset about the animated makeover of a live action clunky costume character. So
interesting.
Right.
No, it's
so
not.
You can go check this out. Yeah, I don't know. So, thoughts on Barney getting a makeover? Anybody?
I have a thought. Like,
Please, Nick. Please tell us your thought.
My thought is, what the fuck? Because, like, if you have an opinion on this and you're making it heard on the internet, you're a grown up that grew up with Barney. So, like, what the fuck? Like, figure your life out. Go do something. Also, they've, like, rebooted a bunch of different things. Like, there's Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which is a cartoon tiger that is basically Mr. Rogers. It's not Mr. Rogers, but it's the same thing, but it's an animated version. They've changed many different kids shows over the years have been rebooted and reformatted for a new age.
The image timeline of He-Man.
Yeah.
That dude's changed a lot over the years.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a weird thing to. I mean, do you you literally want them to like show your kids the version of Barney that you grew up with? Go get a VHS player and pop in some tapes, man.
Nick, but Nick, these are the same people though that were outraged about the fucking M&Ms a couple weeks ago.
Right.
It's the same horseshit outrage because you're bored with your life.
Yeah.
I can run into a wall. Do something else. Jesus. Get off Twitter, all of you. Unless you're following us and being on Twitter just to see what we're doing.
And we think you should.
Fuck off Twitter. We should. You should.
Right.
Get a life, you sacks of shit.
Yeah, that's what Barney would say too.
That's right.
He did actually tell me that. that was the final episode. It didn't air, but I was on it. And I was just a spunky little kid. I run up to him, and he turns around and grabs me by the. I had a little bow tie, and he grabs me by the bow tie and says, "Eat shit, motherfucker."
Barney, can I listen to my fog hat whack on? Get a life, you fucking loser.
It was just Nick. You're really opening up these wounds, and
I'm sorry.
I've already had a bad enough time listening to Brian's Debbie Downer segment that you produced here.
Sorry. Yeah, I know it's a lot. Yeah, I know. A lot to take in.
Now I got to think of when Barney did stuff to me behind the. I didn't get to that part, did I? Never mind. Go ahead. Let's move on.
I'm gonna think about that when I'm going to bed tonight.
You should. I'll send you video clips. I took selfies of that purple three-fingered paw.
You know where the eggplant emoji actually came from, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
The big purple eggplant.
Well, Barney lives on.
Came across. Go ahead.
What's that?
Those are the whitest teeth I've ever came across.
Very good.
I masturbated on his dinosaur mouth.
Got it. Yeah. All right. Well, Barney lives on. Barney is he will live on to make future impacts in the world of children's television. So, some people. That's right. But Dean, you had an
into
interesting
my
question.
crater.
Dean did.
Sorry. I did have an interesting question. I'm better now.
Yeah.
All right, question of
No one makes Dean laugh.
If you could be molested by any childhood TV show character, which one would you choose? Tonight, our Mount Rushmore of TV show personality partners.
Now that is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want BJ the dinosaur. You know why.
I did pick Howdy Doody, but the splinters kept getting on my dick. It was awful. Okay. All right, so question of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It is not exactly about the art world, but as an artist, musical artists. Guys, my idiot question of the week is: give me an artist, a musical artist that died young or too young or whatever, and give me a scenario. Tell me if they would have lived, what they would have done. Where would they be at now, even? Give me a little rundown. Doesn't have to be. Give me a few sentences, whatever you want. Just what do you think they would have done? What do you think? What direction would their career and life, maybe, if you know anything about that, would go? So, does anybody have a starting point here?
Yeah, I'll start with. I've often found myself wondering when I look at rappers of the '90s, right, or people that were big in the '90s, and you see like Snoop Dogg cooking with Martha Stewart, right, and you see Diddy doing his thing and with his vodka, and everybody has endorsements. Or there's definitely a lot of rappers that were, or let's say Ice Cube in his horrible movie career, and his stupid family movies.
He was in Anaconda, so cool your jets.
Yeah. But it makes me wonder with like rappers like Tupac and Biggie, like where, if they had lived, would they look at these guys now and go, what the hell happened? Like, you guys, everybody sold out, everybody did this, everybody did that. Or would they have just fallen in line with everybody else because that's where their career would have taken them? So the Notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace, very near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite rappers of all time. I've often wondered, would he, back when there was like Run's House and stuff, would he have had a reality show? Like maybe where he's the dad, right? And they're raising their kids and stuff, and would it be something like that? Would he? I don't know. I tend to think, and this is a boring answer because there's a lot of fun routes you could go. I tend to think what he actually would have done is probably ended up being like a producer or something like that. A little bit more of like what Diddy did and stuff like that. But it is fun to think of, like, I don't know, Biggie getting into the reality world. Maybe he's on a dating show at some point. That would be fun. Like Who Wants to Call Me Big Papa or something like that. That'd be like the VH1 tagline, like a Rock of Love kind of deal.
But imagine the artist he could have produced, and like, in behind the scenes, like you were saying, like what he could have done there. I mean, the art, the music that could have been, from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's an interesting one. I definitely think of a lot of rappers and like how just definitely like rappers of the '90s, kind of how their careers have gone. And it does pose an interesting question as to like, had they, lived and gone on, and how the culture would have changed as well. Like as far as, around the music and how them being present and without the death of the two of them and all of that spiraling out of control, how that may have changed, and had a whole butterfly effect on everything going forward. So I don't know. What about you, Brian? You got any interesting ones?
The first one for me that came to mind was this rock band was, in my opinion, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, as far as sheer talent. They gave us some of every single member was super talented in his own right, from vocals to each guy playing his particular instrument. Super influential. And back in 1980, when the John Bonham passed away in Led Zeppelin, at age 31, the band decided, done, no more. And that's what stopped Led Zeppelin. So you reflect on that to where all these guys were younger. If John Bonham would not have passed away from drug overdose, basically, that band, I envision they would have stayed together. Now, who knows how long a band stays together? Certainly, there's always things that can happen, how long they would have lasted and so forth. But I would venture to guess they would have given us more albums, more music, more tours. And who knows, but that was it. That was the last. That was now they did reunite for like a special event that they recorded.
Sure.
Which, by the way, if you've not heard that album, Mothership, I think it's Mothership. They did no. They got together for some live albums. So go check that out. But Mothership was a collection of the greatest hits and all that. But where Jason Bonham, his son, I think, played with them at the time. So many people for so long have been vying for, because all the other members are still alive, right? But just never happened. That was it. So this makes me reflect on what that band would have continued to do for at least a number more years, if not maybe reunited over time or whatever it was. But yeah, just brought that band to a screeching. There's not many bands that have done that. I cannot think of any other.
Right.
Probably other ones out there there are probably other ones out there I'm not thinking of, but there's been plenty of iconic bands that has lost a member for one reason or another, from a death or someone quits the band or something like that. But yet the remaining members somehow find a way to pick it up and continue, for at least try to continue on for a while. But Led Zeppelin said no. Out of honor for him, we're not replacing him. Just done. So
I mean, it's admirable.
that's the first one that came. Go ahead. Sure, it is.
Yeah.
It is, sure.
And there's also something I think maybe to be said. I mean, I'm not doubting Led Zeppelin would have continued to make great albums, at least for a while, but kind of that better to burn out than to fade away kind of deal. Like, is it better that the legacy? I mean, you could say that for a lot of great, or even, Biggie and Tupac and stuff like that. I mean, going out when they did, there wasn't a massive catalog of music necessarily. I mean, they could have gone on for a lot longer, and same with all these bands with, or like you look at Nirvana with Kurt Cobain or whatever, but like they're remembered in this time in which they were at the height of their powers, and they'll forever stay there because there was never anywhere to go or any way to let your audiences down or disappoint them, because what you've left them with is so universally beloved that it's kind of like you forever stay on that pedestal because that's what you gave. You know what I mean? That's where you went out.
That's your legacy.
Yeah, it's a great point. You're right. No one is sitting around saying that, that last, the 40th album by Led Zeppelin was
like Zeppelin hasn't made a good album in like 15 years or whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Didn't hear that. You're right.
Right.
All right, Dean, what do you got?
I have they literally wrote a song was written about this artist. The Day the Music Died by Don McLean. My pick would be Buddy Holly. That guy was, if you just are outside looking at the peripheral of it, you just hear the pop songs that he wrote. You hear, you just see the black framed glasses, kind of good old boy from Texas, but musically he was just astonishing. And some of the kind of lost tapes, or not lost tapes, but more of kind of the stuff that he, kind of like what Tupac did. He performed a lot of stuff, but that wasn't done. So they're kind of it's off to the side. But I think he died in, what was it, in 59. And that was just on the verge of like the change in music, You were like 5 years away from the Beatles coming in, or less than 5 years away from the Beatles coming in. And I mean, there's a lot of people you can compare him to. Like, would he have gone the route of the Beatles and maybe done the pop up to there and then went psychedelic? Would he have gone country even, Because like Merle Haggard was there, on that tour. There were so many different paths, but musically, I think he would have been looked upon as one of the brilliant minds of music. I personally think he would have gone through a couple different things, but I think he would have gone the way of almost Bob Dylan. I think lyrically, he was so impressive. All right. I saw that my video quality was poor.
We still heard you the whole time, but you froze up a minute visually, but audio is fine.
But yeah, I think he would have gone the way of maybe Bob Dylan, where, he did some real deep shit and then he kind of got weird at some points. Like, I think it would have been really impressive, but what would that have done to other like known artists? I think I'm not saying he would have been as big as Elvis Presley, because Elvis Presley had a machine behind him with Colonel Parker, but I think he would have been not just the icon on murals and hop. What was it? They portrayed him in Pulp Fiction at one of the hopscotch restaurants. I think he would have been known as one of the most influential people in music if he would have survived. So I thought that was, I think that's one of the bigger loss, knowing what musically he could have done. So my pick's Buddy Holly.
Very good.
Nice.
Excellent.
So with that said, gentlemen, anybody else got anything else? Nothing?
I was pondering, had Kurt Cobain lived, which route he would have gone.
Yep.
I feel like he definitely, like, Nirvana wouldn't have lasted much longer anyway. I feel like he eventually, the road he was headed down, he would have stepped away from it on his own accord. He would have just been like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. This is not what I signed up for. No. Maybe somewhere along the line. I think, somewhere along the line, maybe he would have gotten back into music, maybe done, I could even see him doing like some folk stuff or whatever, just kind of as he got older, as his life experience caught up to him and things like that. And as he,
that's funny because actually I was having this conversation and that I had said that he may get into like folk stuff. That's cool. Yeah.
And when I was thinking that, I was like, I don't know if I'm just mirroring his life on Eddie Vedder's because that's exactly what basically
it makes
but I'm
total
like, it
sense.
Seems like that's what he would have done. He would have left eventually, and I mean, there's that road in which he steps away on his own accord, takes care of himself, comes back later when he's ready to do it on his own terms. Or there's Britney Spears circa 07, 08, where he just goes nuts in front of everyone in the media and like lives through being insane
if he would
for
have
a
been
minute,
clean,
and we all go, "What the fuck?" I think
you're going with the first one.
Yeah. I tend to think so.
And then you would have the Beatles showing up on the rooftop. You know what I mean? You would get that Nirvana reunion, after 20 years.
Yeah.
And it would be the biggest fucking thing. And they'd sell out everything, and
I also put down, by the way, because Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. That would be very interesting.
I looked him up today. I mean, he was so young, 27 years old. 27 years old.
He's the Forever 27 Club. Yep.
1970 passed away. So he really only had a mainstream career.
We should do a show on that sometime.
What's that? The
27
topic?
Club.
Oh, the 27 Club?
No, the 27 Club.
Yeah.
But Jimi Hendrix, you're right, Brian. It'd be interesting.
I just picture him. He would have certainly continued to enhance his ability, number one. But he was such a part. He had the ability. You think about that time as well. He could have really went on and been such an influence on empowerment and everything else, and singing out
because there's nobody like him.
I would have loved to have heard artistically where he went over the years, like what kind of different things he went into and how his sound changed over the years would be really interesting.
Absolutely. You think about it, and just the amount of kids that picked up the guitar just after a few years of Jimi Hendrix, how many more people he could have influenced and everything else. And I could picture him today. If he was still around, he would be, he could still be playing acoustic sets or whatever and still be a powerful influence into his later years, certainly. So it may not be alive this, I'm trying to say, I don't know if he would still be I haven't done the math. How old would he be at 27 in 1970? Is he even possibly be alive right now? I don't think so, but he could have certainly had a much more of a longer lasting influence in the music world. So anyway, all right, that's the two that came to mind. for me.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, I think that was a fun little question.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Okay. Could have made that almost a main topic, but it's not the main topic.
We definitely could. It is not.
But wait, there's more.
That's right.
What?
There is more. So, Nick's suggestion for the main topic this evening, we're going to come at you with that after the break, and that is...
well, how do you fit yours in?
That's right.
Blunt end first.
Yep. That could be it. Or it could be actors that we'd like to see play in superhero movies, whether it be a hero or villain. What actors, and what are some potential roles that you might want to see these actors portray? We'll bring it to you after the break.
But you know you're coming back. But you know you're coming back just in case it's butt plugs.
I never know which end to put in first. I really need to hear that third segment.
Teach me, Nick, please.
Who does the first ever 8-neck game, the ultimate in gameplay, voted game of the year? Who does the third generation of the hot arcade hit Shinobi and lifelike 16-bit graphics? Who gives you 2 stereo speakers free so you hear the great stereo sound of Genesis? Just buy any 3 Sega Genesis brand games before March and get 2 stereo speakers free.
Live to take in 5, 4, 3.
Well, hello. We are back on Convincing Idiots for segment number 3. I am Millennial Nick here with my friends Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean. So for this final segment, for these last handful of years here, or actually over a decade, primarily the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but as well as with some DC movies, some prominent ones up there. We were thinking that you might struggle. It's a treasure trove, if you will, of celebrity talent in these movies, big name actors. Some have been made big names simply by the roles they play, and now as the machine keeps rolling, it seems like they just keep nabbing up all these big names. So it got me to thinking, all of these movies that are out, let's say MCU and DCU combined, are there any even left, any celebrities that you can think of that have not already participated or portrayed a character in either the Marvel or DC universes on screen that maybe you'd like to see in a role, or just see in a movie period? You maybe have a role picked out for them. Maybe you just think, hey, I found one on the bingo card. This guy, he hasn't been in any movies. So we're just going to kind of talk about it. So if it's cool with you guys, I'll start out and give you an example.
Sure. It's not cool with me, but go ahead.
Okay. I inject, but fuck me, I guess. So if anybody needs me, I'll just go over here and fuck myself. So go ahead with your segment and you're starting. Yes. So the first one that came to mind, and just to this is a good example because not only do I think it's a good answer and I have a role picked out for him that I think would fit this gentleman very well, but this is difficult because technically this person has already been involved with DC as in a voice credit. My first submission and the first one that came to my mind was Keanu Reeves. I'm like, Keanu Reeves hasn't been in any of these superhero movies. I would like to see Keanu Reeves in one of them. He's definitely a big actor. I think, personally, he would do a great job portraying my personal favorite member of the X-Men, Gambit. I would like to see Keanu Reeves play Gambit, and I think that would be pretty cool. Did not really realize that Keanu Reeves did voice Batman in the recent DC Super Pets movie. So... If you want to get technical, he's been involved with DC as in he voiced Batman in that movie. But he has not, in real life, on screen, portrayed any superheroes. So I thought Keanu Reeves would be a good fit to play Gambit. So I've always liked that character. Gambit has previously been, he was in, I believe, the Wolverine origin movie, briefly, as like a side character, real quick.
You're right.
But I would really like to see Gambit get a bigger role. I always thought he was really cool, and I think Keanu Reeves would be a good cast. So that's kind of the formula we're going off here. So somebody that hasn't
What
been...
was that?
What's that?
What was that? What was the devil movie he was in?
Constantine.
That
Is that a
technically
comic?
is a comic. Yeah, that is a comic book, but it's not
Okay.
DC or
It's not
MCU
DC or
canon.
MCU,
But,
okay.
but it was a comic book adaptation.
That is
Okay.
true, and actually they're making a sequel to that. That's been announced.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then he also created his own superhero in some comic line. He's going to play that superhero as well. But you're right; it's not Marvel or DC. It's not Constantine is it a DC property? It's not
Right, but it's
mainstream.
not DCU. Like it's not in that movie universe, is what I was saying.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're playing fast and loose with the rules here, but
Right,
you know, as far as big
just like
superhero,
mine and yours
I
love
guess-
life with each other.
yeah, fast and loose. That's right.
Mhm.
Yep. But yeah, I'm just thinking more of like these big superhero movies,
You're right.
whether it be Marvel, DC, kind of in that realm. But yeah,
I think we're all going to be there sometime. In our list of it's not easy. So
Yeah, like I
everybody's
said,
done
there's-
something.
right. There's been so many movies, so many characters, and the amount of talent they're able to bring into these movies, it's actually kind of hard. I mean, you look, I was like, oh, like Angelina Jolie was in Eternals, like there's all these massive actors that like, well, they've been in it somewhere along the line. Initially, I even completely forgot. I started to say Idris Elba, like when I was thinking of people but I was like, no, Idris Elba has been in both MCU and DCU. He was in Suicide Squad and he's Heimdall in Thor.
right.
So yeah, it's
right.
kind of tough. So
Nick,
next,
I had Keanu Reeves as well, Nick. So
did you?
I like your suggestion of Gambit. I think that'd be very cool with the accent and everything else. I think you'd do that. I put him as just Iron Fist.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
Iron Fist, just the obviously, with the whole fighting. I'm thinking of his whole fighting ability. Anyways, an actor with the John Wick stuff, right? So he's definitely could do that sort of fighting, but he also has that calm, the whole martial arts vibe in general. I think he could bring a whole different feel and vibe to that character. So,
I
like that.
What you guys aren't really taking into consideration is that in both universes, MCU and DCU, we are in the multiple universe idea. So if we come across somebody that's either been in a movie or you could do Idris Elba and give him another role. You know what I mean? Anything's possible with this now. There are variants that you can exhibit some variants ideas on my list of actors, or not actors, but the roles that other actors could play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're variants. So, but my first, I'm sorry, Brian, were you done? I didn't mean to
I just wanted to
step
add
on
on
you
to
there.
Keanu Reeves. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, my first one isn't a variant. It is a whole new role, not even probably in the comic books. I'm going to create this role for this gentleman. And my first one is for Alan Alda. And he will play Hawkeye's dad. See what I did? See what I did there?
Was that the character he played in the one show?
No, in MASH, his name was Hawkeye in MASH.
Right,
so
that's what I'm saying. That's the character he played. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The war show. What is it?
That show.
Mush?
That one.
Mush?
You knew what I was talking about.
Mishy?
Yeah.
Mishy Mashy?
Pass
Something like
the
that.
mash.
Bangers and MASH.
All right,
So
Nick, you have
Alan
another one?
Alda plays Hawkeye's dad.
Okay.
I do. Next up, is my favorite actor, and I can't ever see him doing a superhero movie, but in the event
I've
that
never done one, but I guess I can.
if
This
he
is awkward.
did, so Sean Penn has not been in any superhero movies that I recall, and I thought he would be a great version of Doctor Strange. I think. I could see Sean Penn in the Doctor Strange role.
I like that.
Like I said, I don't really see Sean Penn doing a MC or DCU movie. I just don't think that's his types of roles. That's not usually the kind of stuff he does. But if he did, I would like to see him as Doctor Strange.
Sure. I like that.
Yeah, see that.
Brian?
Well, one of the greatest actors of our time is Tom Hanks. You got to figure out, how did we get Tom
Brian,
Hanks?
he doesn't need the goddamn money. Allie, get your man.
Shame
Tell
on
him. Tell him.
Stop him.
He must need the money to do like a live action Geppetto, right? So the man is trying to do something with his money. So you could definitely make some money in a comic book movie. I read an article where he would love to play a Batman villain. He didn't name anyone in particular.
Ooh.
How about Tom Hanks
like
as
that
Mr.
idea.
Freeze? Mr. Freeze.
I like it.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So Mr. Freeze was the obviously a scientist. He had the tragic loss of his wife, and that's when he tried to bring her back. That was the whole accidental reason he became Mr. Freeze to begin with. So Tom Hanks is more the evil genius type of guy. You can't.
But you
it's
don't.
not some
You don't think
goofy,
like a
over the top villain.
serious,
But Mr. Freeze can't be
serious
serious.
version of the Penguin? I could see the serious version of a Penguin, not the over-the-top Danny DeVito comic book.
No, not that. No.
But kind of like a legitimate, serious look at the Penguin is the first thing
like
popped in my head.
What they did in the Batman with
Colin Farrell.
Yes.
Colin Farrell. Yeah.
Yes.
That is
Exactly.
That is interesting,
But not
that
so
is interesting.
greasy. Like he wouldn't be as greasy. He would be more like
Like a gentleman, more of the
yes,
like a
more of a gentleman.
and tradition. You're thinking more like original television show Batman, like Penguin adaptation, instead of the freak kind of,
Well, even Burgess Meredith was over the top with wah, wah, wah,
Yeah, he was a little
wah,
ridiculous. Right.
But I mean, he had the whole suit, and he was a little
You're
more.
right.
He was less villainous as far as he was, as much as he was.
I don't know. Mr. I still go back to Mr.
Yeah, I get
Freeze
what you're
because again, he's a scientist.
Okay.
He's not a goofy over the top. Schwarzenegger was written with that goofy over the top stuff. It's not his fault. It was that stupid writing and Batman and Robin. And I also thought for a second, I also pictured Tom Hanks potentially as Lex Luthor. How about that?
That'd be interesting.
I like that.
I like you could do the look again, just the evil genius type.
All right.
I could picture him totally in that role as well. So just a villain though. I like the evil genius villain for Tom Hanks. I think is very, very fitting for him.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah. Dean?
All right. I'm going to go straight down the line here. I was going to jump around because I want to get to the last one, but I'm going to go with Jenna Ortega. Have you guys ever seen this girl?
Is that the teenager you have a crush on?
She's not a teenager. She's of age. She's an adult. And she's going to play anybody she fucking wants to.
Is that what you have?
Jenna Ortega. I do.
Okay.
I do.
And
it's funny. So I figured you were thinking Jenna Ortega. I put her on my list as well. Dean. Oh wait, I picture her. How about Jenna Ortega as the Black Cat in the Spider-Man series?
Oh, okay.
Because you got to have the Black Cat sooner or later.
All right.
Peter Parker.
Yeah.
At some point, gets hooked up
and
with
there's
Selena.
never been one in any of the movies, in any of the adaptations of Spider-Man.
Nope.
They've never done Black Cat.
Nope. Felicia
That's
Hardy
good.
is like the Marvel version of the Catwoman, sort of, right? Sexy, but she has to be. There's plenty of actresses that can play the role. Like I was thinking of all these actresses. I had like maybe Jessica Chastain, Emily Blunt, perhaps, but two old, very beautiful women, but too old for
Jenna
Tom
Ortega
Holland.
is perfect.
Jenna Ortega figures in an age group that would be the Temptation against Mary Jane and so forth. And she's
Nick can see her as not as a child, but as a beautiful young lady.
I think she'd be great in that role. I think she would look great in the costume. And
she would.
It plays the whole. Yeah.
What?
I like it.
What?
Definitely be a
Costume, prom dress, whatever.
That's right.
What?
There you go.
All right, Nick, what do you got next?
I've got Zoe Deschanel. I think Zoe Deschanel's not been in any type of superhero stuff. And so I like the idea of Zoe Deschanel portraying Starfire from the Titans. I think that would be kind of cool. Starfire's weird because she's an alien princess from another planet. Zoe Deschanel is weird. I
Just
think she
like
could
you.
pull off that's right, a very fun version of Starfire. Now, technically, I mean, all of the Titans characters primarily exist off of the Teen Titans Go children's cartoon series. So I'm going for more of a fun, lighthearted take on Starfire, and I think Zoe Deschanel would be a great pick for that. So yeah, Zoe Deschanel.
I like it.
Brian.
A lot.
Well, we have to have in any superhero, we have to have this actor in any major project, period. And we all share the same sentiment, for sure. To give us a movie, if we find a role for this actor, we're going to put him in it. John Hamm.
I have John Hamm written down as well.
But
He's
again,
literally the next on my list.
that's good.
Yep.
I mean, I think we all agree. He's a great actor. He can play serious roles. He can play comedic roles. He's got a great look to him. So I have a couple
Once
thoughts
again,
for John Hamm.
has done a voice for a Marvel property.
What did he do?
Not for MCU. He voiced Tony Stark in MODOK, the Patton Oswalt MODOK. Yes, that's right.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right. But
Yeah, as soon as I asked Megan, that was without a skipping a beat. That was her. John Hamm. She didn't care what he did. She just wanted John Hamm.
I was going to say, as we have discussed on the show, for him, I have him written down for Batman/Superman, whichever. I don't care, whatever. But
okay,
right. It's fine.
I have a couple thoughts for him. So one is using his comedic role. You could do a very weird, strange movie on Plastic Man in the DC universe. So Plastic Man was sort of their version of Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a very weird, goofy character. Has a weird look to him. He's got like the goggles and the weird suit. It was just a very strange version of that. It's like a weird universe that he was in, right? I think John Hamm could, for the comedic part, the weird comedic part, you could do a very interesting movie with John Hamm as Plastic Man, I think. For a more serious role, I think, Dean, you still have my comic book, my graphic novel that I lent you.
Right here.
You probably, maybe you've never even opened it up yet. But
no, I've been thumbing through it.
Oh, good, very good. So, Kingdom Come is a very good Elseworlds story for DC. It takes place in the future where the superheroes were sort of banished, and then that storyline in particular has an older, very gruff Superman. I could picture John Hamm in that version of Superman, just the aged, grizzled Superman who has nothing initially in the storyline. He's done with humanity. I'm out. I've had it. But then he comes back, and he's got the black S. He's got the graying temples. Just a very, very cool, interesting version of Superman. He can almost do the Batman and Bruce Wayne in that same storyline as well. Because again, Batman's basically a cripple. He's in an exoskeleton because he could barely move or getting beat up over the years. But Bruce Wayne is also very, kind of beat up and aged in that storyline as well. But I picture John Hamm in that Superman role, that older Superman role.
Okay. All right.
Do you what do you think? Where's John Hamm? What does John Hamm play? Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
You got me so excited because I want to go to my next one because it bounces off that one. But John Hamm, I love John Hamm and anything he does. John Hamm he's a given. Like, why isn't he in there somewhere? He has to be. Marvel, DC, I don't care who you are. Get off your asses. Give him a call.
Yep.
Do you have a role for John Hamm that you were thinking of in particular, or no? Just
no. I like yours. I like
okay.
I like your future gruff Superman enough to. All right. So real quick,
go ahead.
Megan's other choice was Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but she said she wanted to see him do a bad guy. But as you're talking about this, I see him as that Batman in that universe.
I like that. Yes. Yeah. That Bruce Wayne that's beat up and he's a smart ass. He's still
I think it
fighting
would be
crime with
I
like,
like-
with like the
I like
robotic
that
Batman
combination.
and stuff. I
And
like
it almost
that.
you could almost do it like a grumpy old men buddy movie. You know what I mean? Like when they're not fighting, they're bickering. They're just two old, gruff superheroes that are bickering. They've seen it all. They've done it all with each other and against each other. And and this is them at just their pinnacle of like just I don't give a shit mode.
I like that a lot too. Also, thinking of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, we're thinking about we can almost cast the Kingdom Come storyline while we're at it.
Sure.
He also could play the Green Arrow in that version, the very grizzled Green Arrow in that same storyline. But yeah, that's a great choice for that storyline for sure with Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Has Bryan Cranston been in any
That's
of these? I don't think so.
That's a good one.
Great
he
one.
would be a good one for Mr. Freeze, I think, as well. I think
That's
he
a
would be
very
a great
good one.
Mr. Freeze pick.
Yeah.
Yep, you win. There you go. That's it.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. Bryan Cranston and Mr. Freeze.
As I see, all these ones are coming to me now. That since we're talking, I don't have Bryan Cranston written down. I also don't have.
What about Bryan Cranston as also Lex Luthor? Perhaps
that would be that would be fine.
Work
I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
The only problem is people like seeing the bald head and thinking Walter White too much.
Okay, I can see that.
But I think he's a good enough actor though to pull it off to where after like 5 minutes you go, okay, this is Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
What about maybe as like the thinker? Like so the leader. I'm sorry, the thinker or the leader in the Hulk. So the leader was the guy that got the gamma radiation in his brain, so his brain expanded, and he was like a super genius. One of the Hulk's greatest enemies was the leader. Bryan Cranston, maybe that he could do an excellent, or Tom Hanks for that.
That'd be good.
Well, those two guys, so the evil genius guy. So we definitely picture him maybe more of an evil genius role. Is that what you're thinking for Bryan Cranston?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys know mine. My discontent for the idea of anyone other than Chris O'Donnell playing Robin.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, if there was going to be someone that wasn't Chris O'Donnell that could portray Robin, I wouldn't hate if it was Timothée Chalamet. I think he would be an excellent pick, or even as a Nightwing or something like that. Just he's got that. Well, he's a fantastic actor, and he would be, I think, great in that type of role.
I can see that.
Yeah. So, Dean, I'm sorry, you were about to say something.
No, to go on yours, I don't know 100% of Timothée Chalamet's work. I hear a lot about him. I just don't see much of like his work. So, but everything I see in it, I can see that as Darkwing.
Yep.
Good.
Darkwing Duck.
Sorry.
Darkwing
Yes, Darkwing Duck. Right. Nightwing. I'm sorry. No, I'm going to go on. I actually have to do Carter's pick. He had two ideas. One was all his. He wants to see John Cena in the MCU doing something.
Okay.
He doesn't know what. What about like the big silver guy? The X-Men. Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that'd be fun with his personality and his comedic timing. I especially working with like Deadpool and shit.
Yep.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So that's Carter's pick.
Okay.
All right. Very good.
John Cena.
I've got Tom Cruise. It seems like you'd need to find another role for Tom Cruise. Now, as we know that there was some rumors that he was going to play Tony Stark, that he was maybe up for that role anyway, and Robert Downey Jr. of course got the role. Right. There was a rumor it was going to be a variant in the. Well, it still could happen, perhaps somewhere along the line here. But what I wrote down here was Sentry. Now, Sentry is kind of he's the most powerful mutant, but he also has some type of a disorder. The whole like a mental disorder where I just pictured Tom Cruise to where he could play a character that is just a little bit is super powerful but a little bit off, and when he's a little bit off he could be super dangerous and put you on edge and all that stuff. It seems to come across in his personality anyway. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think he could pull that off in a very believable way. He's just super powerful but yet dangerous as far as his mental potential for mental breakdown or something along that line. So Sentry
good.
is one that comes to mind for Tom
Yeah.
Cruise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikolai?
Let's see. I've got, I was thinking over here too, I was thinking about the Titans and thinking about when you were talking about that Ortega girl that you love. I was thinking of Naomi Scott, whom I love very much. And I think Naomi Scott, there again, could just play anything she wants to. But I think she would be cool as Raven from the Titans. I think that would be pretty cool, kind of a dark character. And, Naomi Scott was the one that played Princess Jasmine in the live-action Aladdin. She was Kimberly in the 2017 Power Rangers movie, and I think she would be fantastic. So that's one that just came to me there.
Do you watch adult shows?
Do I watch adult shows? I do. I enjoy the children ones much more. There are none that I enjoy as much as the kids shows.
All right. Just checking. Just checking.
Yeah, I can't find any that resonate with me that I like as much. But
all right, my next one is unless Brian, do you know who Nick was talking about?
No.
Okay.
That's okay.
All right. My next one is.
Do you know who Naomi Scott is?
I know the name. I probably know the face if I saw her.
Dean, do you know who Naomi Scott is?
No, like Brian. I know the name. I know I've seen her and stuff.
Are you serious? Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look it up now.
Yeah.
If you.
I mean, you don't have to. Yeah. But she's on my list. She's
okay.
She's beautiful.
Well, my next one. Oh yeah. I can see her doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, she's easy on the eyes. My next pick is Pedro Pascal because why not? He's in fucking everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Why not bring him over to comic book movies?
Yeah,
I've got no other reason besides that.
Him in?
No, just well, if we're thinking about it, we put the thought together. He could probably. I mean. It's kind of a cheat code to do a variant of Iron Man again, but he could do a variant of the Hulk,
A Bruce Banner,
different universe Hulk. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I'm going with that. I like that. I'm doing a variant of Bruce Banner.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
By the way, I just popped in my head too for John Cena also perhaps. Like Ben Grimm. How about him as the Thing, perhaps?
Ooh, that'd be good.
Who's Ben Grimm?
Yeah,
he's the Thing on the Fantastic Four. The big orange guy is like the.
Oh, you're saying John Cena playing? Okay,
yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Since
no, you said
John
it.
Cena.
It didn't click.
Yeah, the Brooklyn guy, gruff guy. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
I also have. Let's see here. Well, it's already been talked about here. So Henry Cavill, he's coming into the Marvel, but it's not been announced what he's going to do yet. So, there's been a lot of rumors what he's going to potentially play. I still picture him as one of the rumors is Captain Britain. Captain Britain is to me, that seems like a perfect role for him with the British accent, everything else. It's kind of their version of Captain America.
Comes naturally to him.
Yeah. Is he British?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. So I think it's a perfect role for him.
Okay. I can dig that.
Yeah.
Nick, you got any more?
I'm out. I've said all mine and I haven't thought of any new ones.
I've got one more. This was a combination thought process between Carter and I. He said the name and then I kind of chuckled it off and then realized, wait a minute, I think I have the best role for him. Carter said he wants to see Hulk Hogan in the MCU.
Okay.
And after I chuckled, I thought to myself, how cool would it to be an older variant of Thor?
Yeah. That's
Like he comes in as like old man Thor from like the future and he's all beaten up and old man Thor.
You know
Hulk
something, brother?
Hogan.
I got
That's right.
We've been through a lot together, brother.
Let me tell you something, Thanos. I like this a lot. I don't think he gets it much better than fucking old variant Thor Hulk Hogan.
Yep. Picture Thor getting beat up. He's just laying there. It's just like
fingers coming up. There you go. There it is. Starts hulking up.
Yeah.
Fucking Jonathan Majors punches him in the side. And just points.
I am a. That's right. I am a real ass guardian. Real ass guardian.
Marvel, if you're listening, you can have this for free. You can have
just
this
so
idea
we can
for free.
see it. We don't want anything. We just want you to make it.
Don't want anything. I just need to see this scene.
Real ass guardian.
Yeah, I like it.
That needs to. It needs to play so faintly in the background that you're like, hold on, what is that? Is that Real American? And you're like, oh goddamn, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, I like it.
I love it.
Maybe give us a little credit on the end there, but
Yep,
we're good.
very good, very good.
It's fantastic. I love it.
All right, two more quick ones. Terry Crews. You got to see Terry Crews,
Ooh,
I think,
yep.
in the universe. Love him as an actor. I looked him up anyway, and he actually said he would love to play Silver Surfer. And I thought, why not? I think it's a great role for him.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, just got the look. It's a great character. He wants to play him. Why not? Looks the part. Love that idea. And then also this has been stated as a possible rumor as well. And he's already expressed interest of playing this character. But Norman Reedus from Walking Dead, he's already a huge motorcycle enthusiast as Ghost Rider. I'd love to see him in that role. I think it's a great role for Norman Reedus.
Everything they've said, it's kind of. I mean, everything they've said, that's kind of what they're doing. From what I've heard,
that'd be great.
Is
that the guy with the longer hair?
The longer hair, the rough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a crossbow in Walking Dead, but be a great Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. Already a dark character and everything else. So I like that idea a lot. And I had one more. Jessica Chastain, I mentioned already.
You were getting her in no matter what.
Yeah. Again, great look, beautiful. Could do action roles and all that, I believe. Kind of picture her maybe as like a villain, though, her as Poison Ivy. I think is interesting in the Batman universe.
I could see that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that's what I got. There's plenty more we can go through. Very good topic, Nick. So there's plenty more we can go through. But yeah, very good.
Yeah,
good job, Nicholas.
Hey, thanks.
You so good.
That's right.
You deserve a little bit of Dini meat.
Oh, geez, thanks.
That's right.
A little bit's all I can give you, so you're gonna have to say
that's all I got. You got no choice.
Well, I may not have a choice with that, but you have a choice. You have a choice today out there listening, ladies and gentlemen. You have a choice if you want to keep just mulling through your miserable life with your regular old bullshit bicycle, or if you want to hop on a wave of electricity with our friends at RPM Bike Shop. That's goddamn right. The power is in your hands. Would you like to be on an electric bike today? Of course you fucking would. So you might as well give our friends a call at RPM Bike Shop, 330-808-7792 today. They're located in Carrollton, Ohio. Don't believe me? Go over to their store and check it out. Don't want to go there because you don't have an electric bike yet? Well, until you get one. In the meantime, search on Facebook for RPM Bike Shop. You can see their products on there as well as also ways to get a hold of them. You can also go to their website. That's rpmbikeshop.com. So be your own superhero in your life today. Get yourself an electric bike from RPM Bike Shop.
That's right. That's right. And that electric bike
you only went from like super angry to you're mellow out.
Motherfucker, get a bike. Electric.
That electric bike, Nick, might be charged by the Thor version of Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Right?
We hope.
That's right. And I can envision an awesome looking tattoo of Hulk Hogan as Thor.
Absolutely.
I mean, picture that. Picture that, will you?
So, are y'all picturing it on my ass cheek like I am?
That's right. Or maybe you're picturing, Tom Cruise as Sentry, or a John Hamm as any superhero at all.
Yeah.
And I'd like to have that just permanently on your body for eternity. So if you're
Make it a reality.
Make it a reality. Make it a reality. A Golden Heart tattoo from our friends over in Norton, Ohio. So look them up on Facebook at Golden Heart Tattoo. Make your appointment today. Website goldenhearttattoos.com, or give them a call at 234-706-2982 and say, you know what, I was listening to the Convincing Idiots podcast. They had all these great tattoo ideas of all these actors who should play superhero roles. And I want to get the John Hamm gruff Superman tattoo from Kingdom Come. So can you make that happen? And they'll tell you, yeah, come on down. Come on down. We'll work it up. We'll get it on your body for all time. So Golden Heart Tattoos.
Boom.
Greg and
All right.
Scott are superheroes into themselves.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, guys,
I think we did it.
I think we did it.
We did the thing.
That's right. Episode 130.
Oof.
In the books.
130. One. And if you could listen closely, I think that's world peace out there, and that's because of us.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. So, Dee, do you have any suggestions for Nick as far as I'm picturing some type of one of these actors in one of these roles or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Do you have any thoughts here?
Do we want to do difficult? Because I have a little difficult. I think it might be fun. We didn't even mention him, but I would like to hear the outro done in Nicolas Cage as a villain, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'll give you a little leeway of broad sense of villainous.
Okay.
In an MCU or DCU universe. So Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
If
you know who Nicolas Cage would be great as a villain?
Baby.
The Joker. He could just be like, because he's fucking crazy. He could just be the Joker. He could just be the Joker. It'd be great, man. It. Just picture it. Just imagine it. All right. Just I've done Nicolas Cage outros. I think that's okay. We're gonna do it again. It's gonna be great. Okay.
Yeah.
So all you got to do to find the Convincing Idiots podcast is go to Convincing Idiots' Linktree, LINKTREE, and there you're going to find all of the places that you can listen to this wonderful podcast each and every week. You can also find that information on their website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So for this episode of Convincing Idiots, whether or not you can tell, probably not, I'm Nicolas Cage, Millennial Nicolas Cage.
Zennial Dean.
Fine.
Have we convinced you that we should be casting for the MCNDCU?
Or be casting it ourselves?
Brian should at least be making the fucking songs.
That's right. Yes. At the very least.
I am a real Asgardian.
Fight for the rights of gods and men. I am a real Asgardian.
Everybody, Gen X Brian with Millennial Nick and Zennial Dean. We need more people besides Nick's mom watching us. Give us a like and subscribe.
So this week we're gonna talk about what would happen if Van Gogh would have survived.
I'm like trying to get my head. I'm like, okay, I can sort of see
He probably would have succumbed to like TV animation eventually and
like,
sold out massively.
Music art. I'm like, all right, well that makes more sense, I guess. But I'm like, okay, trying to be creative. I guess.
I was sitting here just crying, laughing, because like when you said no, it's not really my thing. I'm like, wow, I think that's actually something you would thrive in.
I say, I don't know what's funnier, the fact that you misunderstood or the fact that you thought Dean would know that much about art that he would actually suggest such a topic.
I know, I'm just like, I was like, wow, okay. I'm thinking like, okay, well, like Ansel Adams, I think he passed away. His birthday was recently. I'm like, okay, he's a cool photographer, and maybe Andy Warhol. Yeah.
Just so I wanted to double check my work, I read the text message line back to Megan, but I asked her, what do you think that means?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, yeah, like if Elvis would have survived. I'm like, okay, good.
Right.
At least it's
fair enough. All right. I was like, wow, I would have been impressed if you had some actual discussion topics. That would have been like, okay. All right.
I mean, I can talk about art. Actually, okay. I actually can.
Yep.
So
okay,
if you ever want to do that subject, I can. I mean, I'm not a fucking master, but I could dabble a little bit in art.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Was one of my better subjects.
All right. Well, it certainly wasn't broadcasting.
Definitely was not. Just like yours, as it wasn't comprehension.
That's right. I guess not.
Critical thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.